Hi, it's Evan Pagan. Welcome to this teleclass where I'm going to be interviewing and masterminding with really one of the great teachers and thinkers and creators in the area of marketing and business. His name is John Carlton. I've known John now, probably going back 6 or 7 years. We met through my friend Joe Polish at one of Joe Polish's mastermind and brainstorm meetings, interestingly enough.
Evan, it's 12 years.
12 years?
I know that it's humbling. You talk about humbling moments. Yeah, it was 12 years ago.
I don't think it was that long, was it?
I think it was, yeah.
It can't be. Well, okay, anyway, we'll argue over that later. I think it might have been 5, John, maybe not 12. But anyway, so we met up and we connected, and I started listening to John, and I realized, wow, this guy not only knows how to really create killer marketing, but he also might be the guy that knows how to teach it better than anybody, and that's a powerful and kind of lethal combination. And so John and I have actually we've done work together, we've attended each other's presentations and things, and we've just made friends over the years. And we were having a discussion the other day, just a couple days ago here, and we were talking about kind of what the secrets to success are. We were also talking about this new program, this masterminding program that John's putting together, and we were discussing kind of the key aspects of success when it comes to building a successful business and a successful information business. And we decided that it would just be a great idea to actually do an interview and talk about these things and share some of this knowledge, because like I said, John really has it where it counts. He's got the track record and the experience, and he's also a great teacher to prove it. So welcome, John, and let's have an interesting conversation.
Yeah, let's. Just when you were talking about setting everything aside and turning everything off, I dropped my iPhone today onto the pavement and it cracked, and I let out a squeal. Now, I don't normally squeal. This is probably the first time since I was like 8 and I skinned my knee. It was like, oh!
Can you make the sound of a John Carlton squeal? What was that?
I just did, I think.
Oh, that was a squeal, okay.
And it's like... And it's like, oh my God, and it still works, but it's all cracked. And I'm thinking, oh, okay. As soon as it happened, I thought I should not be concerned about this. None of that's irreplaceable. It's just another little machine, but it becomes a part of us. When I leave the house and I know what happened, I'm always patting myself down. Where's my iPhone? It's ridiculous. So.
Awesome. So so in our conversation, we were talking about how it's kind of like the interaction of a few key things. Like in business, everyone's looking for the one secret or like the one thing that's going to help them. And I don't know, I got a lot of insight when we talked about these 3 different kind of aspects of, marketing, masterminding, and then meeting in live trainings. Right. And you want to just, before we dig into each one, maybe just talk a little bit about, how this insight kind of came to you, and then maybe we can dig into each one and then talk about how to integrate them.
Well, what's interesting, Evan, is that just talk as I was telling you that little mini story about the iPhone. The thing that keeps coming back is the human-to-human interaction that is so vital to everyone I know who has made business work. And it's not just the isolation that people feel when they do an online business, although that can be part of it. But there's always been this human-to-human thing. I think when we were talking, I was talking earlier, before I called you, I was thinking about this, how so many people that I know started out their business career feeling isolated, alone, lonely, and kind of unconnected and disconnected, unharbored, kind of floating on the top of an ocean where they didn't, it was mostly unknown stuff going on. And by going to events or by masterminding, by creating masterminds, by setting up things, it gave them a grounding, and it gave them a backup, and it gave them, even if they often didn't, become friends with the people, it gave them a gang, kind of a marketing gang to watch their back. Mm-hmm. And that's what got me to really start thinking about the important things that happened in my life, or the people who are important in my life, and where I met them, and how our relationships developed and what we're going, how that progressed. And I noticed it's a very similar story with everyone I know who's gotten big, both online and offline. There's always that human-to-human element. And, of course, that's where, masterminding comes from, and why we go to events, why we do these things. So it was it's not just about connecting with people. It's about creating a personal resource, a human resource department, I guess, of just people you can talk to, people you can rely on. Eben, you and I talked yesterday for a little while, and while we were talking, I just remembered sadly that that was the kind of talk that I used to do with Gary Halbert all the time, daily, really. And when he left us and went to that big marketing seminar in the sky, I realized I haven't necessarily completely replaced that, but I have a number of people that I rely on. And every time I talk with you, I come away with really heavy-duty, hardcore stuff that I can put into action immediately. You've got a way of looking at things. You have insight. You have your own peculiar insight from your position of what your life experience is, what your business experience is, all that stuff, and all this kind of gelled around the idea of what is that X factor in going from a guy in a computer on a kitchen table to becoming a real powerhouse in marketing. So that was kind of the genesis of all this.
Well, I think that the term that you used to describe my perspective of peculiar is very accurate. my perspective is very peculiar. Let's zoom out for a second here, and because I obviously agree with everything that you're saying here, and as we were talking, I was like, right, of course. Like most of the big breakthroughs that I've had, most of the big products I've created, essentially all of the big breakthroughs that I've had, all the big business and product breakthroughs I've had this combination of there was marketing involved, there was some masterminding, and there was a live meeting or a live training involved. So, just for those that are kind of new at a lot of this stuff or really don't see how it all fits together, let's dive in. Like, what is marketing in your opinion? What's the definition? What does John Carlton say the definition of marketing is?
Well, it's taking advantage of the vehicles for human communication. One of the biggest aha experiences I had, and that other people that I let in on this continue to have, is that whole idea that Claude Hopkins talked about as salesmanship in print. I think everybody understands a salesman going door to door, face to face. You walk into Best Buy, or you walk in somewhere, it's just you. You walk into Nordstrom's, it's you and another person talking about your needs, and they're presenting a either a pitch, or they're helping you, or there's some kind of interaction going on, which leads to a capitalistic exchange of value for money. And marketing really is the broadening of that. The salesmanship in print idea, of course, is the idea that if you can sell to one person face-to-face, why not multiply that? Either through direct mail, through online, websites. Spread your message. If you can do it once, you can do it multiple times through video, something like that. So the broad definition of marketing is to take advantage of the vehicles for expanding your ability to reach people. And of course, there's numerous ways to do that, but that's pretty much the basic element is getting a sales message or in any kind of message, really, because marketing applies, of course, to politicians. It applies across the board, almost everything we do. If you wake up one day and you decide, I'm going to be married this year, you actually mount a marketing campaign where you kind of get your message together. You try to find pools of people to go to. You start to smooth it out. You make whatever mistakes you need to make, and you keep correcting it as you go. Which is that's the cyber thing. Who's that guy about the missile self-correcting itself? The torpedo. Anyway, that's it's the idea of refining your message as you go and reaching the greatest number of people you can in the most efficient way with the best message you can. So